Hey, glad you're back. We are talking about our cardio and the life of the relationship, the heart that beats and pumps blood through the relationship, giving it life. Um, and we started in this series of videos. We started with the question: How do you have a strong, healthy relationship, and what's something you can do in that relationship that will help it stay strong and healthy? And we talked about the love languages, the 5 love languages. And, great resource, Chapman's book, the 5 love languages. You can get it on our resource page on our website. But how to have a strong, healthy relationship. And then in the last video, we talked about what's one thing you can do when the flame's going out. How do you rekindle? How do you add some kindling to a fire where the flames died out, the relationship seems to be dying out, and how can you add new life? And we talked about the word cherish, and how when you start treasuring your partner, how that brings life back and how that rekindles that flame. This video, we want to talk about what to do when the relationship seems broken. How do you rebuild a broken relationship? It's like that flame has gone out. It's almost like, there's nothing good about this relationship. It's dead.
Yeah.
And how can one person even begin to change the dynamic of that relationship when it seems like it's broken and gone? So this video, we want to talk about attitudes of gratitude. And this comes out of your story. Our relationship was broken. Our relationship was, we were headed in different directions. We're living in Colorado Springs, and it seemed like there wasn't a lot of hope for our relationship.
Yeah.
So pick it up from there, and let's talk about how to rebuild a broken relationship.
Okay. We were going to Bible college in Colorado Springs. We were both working and both going to school. And we were going to the same school, kind of had the same goal in mind. We found ourselves not having any time for each other, our relationship. Busy, going lots of different directions, and like 2 ships passing in the night, just not communicating, not connecting at all, just nothing. It was lonely. We were both lonely.
Yeah.
Sad, just kind of hopeless.
Yeah. We did not like each other much.
No, because we were frustrated.
Yeah.
And we both wanted to be able to spend time with each other, but we just couldn't find the time at that time. We didn't have the skills, I don't think. We hadn't been married very long, just a few years, 3 years, 3 or 4. And it was really hard.
It was a very dark period in our relationship.
Yeah, we were really struggling. And one of the things that turned it around, that started turning things around, was one of the classes that I was taking in at Bible College in women's studies. We were doing something about relationships. I don't remember all the details, but my professor was talking about focusing on the positive. And she gave us an assignment to make a list of 10 things that we liked or loved about our husband. At that moment, sitting in class, I could think of nothing.
See, and I don't understand that.
Not even one thing came to my mind. It was that dark of a time in our relationship. And but I wanted to be a good student, so I did
had to turn in a paper with something on it.
I did my assignments, because I wanted to get good grades. So I took that seriously, and I started a list, and I thought of one thing. And the idea was to create your list, write it down, and then review that on a daily basis, even multiple times a day if that would be helpful. And it was for me. I needed it, that reminder over and over again. So I started with one thing written down on that list, and I only had one thing on there for a long time. I don't remember what it was. And then as I reviewed that and started focusing on that positive thing that I loved about you, I thought of another thing, and then another thing. Pretty soon I had 10 things on a list.
And so one came out of another. One spurred a thought.
Right, right. Well, I think it's because I started focusing on positive things, helped me to not focus on the negative things. So then I found myself kind of looking for other positive traits and other positive characteristics that you had. And you have many. You always have had. And they were always there.
They were there. You couldn't see them because your mind was focused on the negative stuff. Yeah. Which I think is what happens.
Yeah. And I was feeling, like I said, I was lonely, I was feeling hurt, I was feeling rejection probably, thinking back on it. And you were feeling the same, but we weren't communicating or coming together on any of that. So focusing on those positive things helped me to realize that they are there. They were there. They never left. I just couldn't always see them. I had to clear away the negative to get to the positive.
How did focusing on those change you, though, versus just seeing more positives?
Yeah. Well, it helped me to be a more positive person.
Yeah.
Because anytime you're focusing on positive things, you're eliminating negativity out of your life. Anytime you do that, negativity is toxic.
Yeah.
And the more you allow that into your life, the more it's like a poison. Might start small, but it's going to just get worse and worse and worse. And if you allow it to just grow, it can take over your life.
And when it becomes your focus,
yeah.
I've always liked Tony Robbins' quote: "Where your focus goes, or where your focus goes, your energy flows."
Right.
In other words, if that becomes your focus, your energy, your efforts, everything's going towards that.
Mm-hmm.
And when that's negative, your focus is on that negative. Yeah. You see more negative. Mm-hmm. You come across more negative. Mm-hmm. Your demeanor, you are more negative.
Yeah.
And the more negative you are in a relationship, who wants to be around that?
Right.
We're not attracted to negativity.
Right.
We're drawn to positive, somebody that's upbeat, positive, and that's attractive, and we're attracted to that. So the more you changed, the more you focused on that, the more positive you became, and the more positive you became, the more attractive you became. That's drawing me. Mm-hmm. But then you also did something else that is you didn't just write down your list and you think about your list. You started mentioning those things to me. Commenting to me you're positive. When you share your positive with somebody else, he wants to do more of that. Mm-hmm. So it's one thing to make your list, and it's another thing to express your list. Yeah. Yeah. When you express positive, it's that positive reinforcement that you want more of that behavior, build that behavior up. Mm-hmm. And so you start doing that. So it rebuilds that relationship. So that broken relationship that was gone. We're sitting here today, I believe, in a big part due to that exercise. Mm. The fact that you did that exercise in the middle of downtown Colorado Springs, I think has a huge part to play in who we are today. And the fact that you rebuilt. I wasn't the one who did the exercise. It didn't take both of us to do that.
Right.
You did that. It was something one person could do that would have a positive impact on the relationship. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's profound in the rebuilding of the relationship. It makes me think of the exercise of don't think about a pink elephant. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times We do this in relationships. We say, I'm just not going to think about negativity. I'm not going to think about negativity. I'm going to be a positive person. I'm not going to be a negative person. And what are you? You're a negative person because that's everything that's going on in
Right.
you. If I say, don't think about a pink elephant, what do you think about?
Pink elephant.
A pink elephant. Instead of trying not to think about a pink elephant, if you don't want to think about a pink elephant, think about a blue elephant. So if you just intentionally think about something else and you put your focus there, this kind of begins to fade away and disappear. It doesn't mean that I didn't have negative characteristics. We all have positive and we all have negative. And if you're looking for negative, no problem finding them. We all can find the negative in people. But the truth is, there's positive there too. And we all can find positive in another person.
Yes.
And when we start focusing on the positive, it's not that the negatives disappeared. They just didn't become the focal point, and so the entire relationship changes.
They kind of fade into the background.
Yeah.
They're not the primary thing. The positive becomes the primary.
And the positives get stronger,
Yeah.
and the negatives get weaker.
Right.
And I think that's the beauty of rebuilding
Yeah.
a broken relationship.
Yeah.
So if you want to rebuild your broken relationship, especially at this season, right now we're in the Thanksgiving season, and not sure when you'll be watching this video, but right now it's Thanksgiving time. And so this whole idea of the attitudes of gratitude, do you have a gratitude list for your spouse? What are you thankful for about your spouse? Sometimes I say, so what are you thankful for at Thanksgiving time? And people go, my husband. No, what are you thankful for about your husband?
Yeah.
Now, we have the general, I'm grateful for my wife, but what are we thankful for that's that list that we can make? I want to encourage you. We want to encourage you to make a list this season right now, this week. Do something intentional this week. If you're having a hard time finding positive things about your spouse, start with one. Write it down and then repeat it, and keep your eyes open and add to your list, and then add another one, and then add another one. But don't stop this week with just writing them down. If your relationship's in a place where you have open ability to communicate at all, express your gratitude to your partner. Share it, and let them know their positives. And
maybe even at the Thanksgiving table this year, if you're having Thanksgiving together, instead of just saying, in general terms, I'm thankful for my husband or my wife, pick a characteristic, a trait that you're truly thankful for, and express it at that time. Yeah.
So your cardio, that's the heart of the relationship. The heart of that relationship is love and being able to communicate and give and receive love, to have a strong, healthy, growing relationship. Learn the love languages. Learn them, study your spouse, study your partner, learn what their language is and what makes them feel loved. Begin to really seriously cherish and treasure your spouse. And sometimes you have to go beyond your feelings. The relationship's broken. You may not feel like cherishing. You may not feel like loving. Love anyway, because love's an action.
Love is a decision.
It's a decision. It's something we do on purpose. So love your spouse, cherish your spouse, and begin to make a list. I would encourage you, no matter what the state of your relationship is, broken, dying, healthy, any of those, all three of those things are valuable exercises to take your relationship to the next level, whatever it is right now. Make a list, an attitudes of gratitude list. We're glad you're here. We're glad that you're a part of this journey. We encourage you to go out and share this content. There's somebody today that you know that could use a word about attitudes of gratitude. Share this video with them. Share our website, our Facebook page. Let's get the word out that there is hope for every single relationship to be extraordinary. Go love on purpose. Go live intentionally, and go be extraordinary. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining us today.
Check out our website with resources to help grow your relationship at xtraomarriage.com.
That's xtraomarriage.com. Like our Facebook page and share our content with your friends on social media.
Make a decide and set your intention for an extraordinary marriage. Start today.